guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Oh my god, I can finally say I've seen Hocus Pocus. Oh my god. Like, I was born in 85, which would make me, how old in 93? Definitely the target demographic for this movie in 93. I don't know why it took me until I was 38 to finally see this thing. But now that I have, I can safely say that I think it was probably a good call that I didn't see it as a kid exactly. Because for as much of a wuss of a kid as I was, I think this would have scared the ever-loving shit out of me when I was a little kid. As an adult, perfectly fine. Probably would have been fine as a teenager even, but verdict's still out depending on how bad my anxiety was at any given time. And that made a lot of variables in that era to where things that shouldn't have been scary were, like, petrifyingly scary to me at certain times, and then other times I'd be completely impulsive and fearless. So, take that for what you will. But I have finally seen the damn thing, and not a moment too soon, because my youngest sister, all this time, for whatever reason, has lived under the illusion that I have seen this movie. And because I was too embarrassed to just admit that I hadn't, for whatever reason, I don't even know why. She just, like, kept referencing it as if I had for sure seen it, so I kind of just started playing along after a while. And then it was one of those things where it got to be like, I'm in too deep. I have to actually see this damn thing because I don't know, my pride couldn't handle her finding out that I hadn't. And my dad thought I had to. Actually, both my parents thought I had. My dad last year was just like, he referenced something about the movie, and I was like, you mean Sabrina the Teenage Witch? No, the movie with the black cat that was a boy and he can talk. I was like, that was a show, and that was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That was Salem. No, the movie with the witches. The cat's name is Binks. And I'm like, well, I mean, there was witches on Sabrina. It's not fucking Sabrina. It's the movie with the 3 witches. And I was like, are you talking about Hocus Pocus? And yes, that's what I'm trying to think of. Thank you. And I was like, okay, cards on the table? I've never seen that. He's like, yes, you have. You watch it every year with us. And I was like, I don't know which kid you're mistaking me for. Maybe Kimmy, but I have never seen it. Not once. I know of it, just through pop culture, but I've never seen it. He's like, how the fuck have you not seen it? I was like, I don't know. But I need to. And I want to, and I meant to watch it last year, and then time got away from me and it didn't happen. I wanted to watch that one and the new one back to back, but clearly neither one happened. So I did it this year. At least the first one anyway. I haven't gotten to the second one yet, but soon anyway. So I can finally say I have seen the dang thing. Oh my gosh. On one hand, it is totally not what I was expecting. On the other hand, in some ways it is exactly what I expected. If that makes any kind of sense. I think it's a lot scarier of a movie for children than I was assuming. But also I think that's part of what lends itself to being the classic that it is. Because if it were just like a lame movie, I don't think it would be so beloved by my generation. I do have to say, isn't it bizarre that this is like the one and only time Sarah Jessica Parker actually looked attractive in a role, and it's as a witch? Like, actually that look really worked for her. Like, sorry, I'm not meaning to shade on Sarah Jessica Parker. I know lots of people love her, but, like, seriously though, I don't think she ever looked as good as she did here. Oh god, but Bette Midler though, what even were those prosthetics? I know, she's a witch, like, they had to make her up to be ugly, but like, bro. Man, they did her dirty. But, made a good witch though. Like, actually the movie itself is really, really good. So, if there is somehow, some way, anyone else out there who lives under the same rock that I did for all these years, spoilers are happening, so if you don't want them, don't watch this video. If you don't care about the spoilers, then cool, stay here. They're happening either way. So basically, story goes, the 3 witches are the Sanderson sisters. They are, in fact, 3 witches that live together. and they're trying to do an immortality spell. And they have all the ingredients except for one. They need the life force of a child. And they do get a child back in the day, while her brother tries to fight for her and fails, and watches his sister die in front of him. Granted, the town then lynches them, strings them up and hangs them high, but they assure everybody that they'll be back as soon as somebody lights that candle. They'll be back. So, of course, the townspeople try to ensure that that will never happen. Plus, they don't believe it'll really work anyway. But, yeah. Hundreds of years go by. Nothing ever happens. Place is turned into a museum. I think this is even in Salem and everything. So, like, witchy territory. Irony. Deadass serious right now. My sister today is at a wedding of a couple who's having a very gothy wedding, and I shit you not, their honeymoon is in Salem. I don't know why the fuck I felt the need to include that here, but there you go, it is relevant timing. Anyway, so, I believe that's where this takes place, if I am not mistaken. So, 300 years pass, and this will only work if not only the candle is lit, but it has to be on All Hallows Eve. And has to specifically be lit by a virgin. Which seems like a really odd detail to include in a children's movie that they keep bringing up over and over and over again. I'm just thinking, how many kids had to then go ask their parents, Mommy, what's a virgin mean? Like, anyway, yeah, I do not envy those parents who had to explain that to their kids. But anyway, yeah, they bring it up an awful lot in a disparaging way to the point where I'm like, once again, pop culture, can we not virgin shame? Can we not slut shame? Like, both ends of the scale. They're both bad. Can we just not do that? It should not be as big a deal as pop culture makes it out to be. It is one of my pet peeves. It doesn't matter which direction it goes in. It just irks me when pop culture does that, because they make an issue out of something that shouldn't even be an issue. But anyway, so that is a whole thing. Halloween rolls around, and this family is a new family in town, and they have a moody teenage son who's about the age of the kid who watched his sister die. Oh, I forgot a very crucial detail in there. The boy who watched his sister die to the witches, they cursed him to live as a cat. An immortal cat, so he will have to live with his guilt of failing his sister for all time. As a cat who can't die. Okay, and of course he is a black cat. So, that is a thing, but this new family in town, the boy is about the age of the boy who got cursed into a cat. The younger sister is about the same age of the girl that the original boy watched die. So it's kind of interesting parallels 300 years later that just happens that way. And she demands that he take her out trick-or-treating because she's not doing it alone in a new place and everything. She doesn't dare. So he begrudgingly takes her out trick-or-treating. And they happen upon the girl that he has a crush on. And she really likes her witch costume and everything, and seeing how into it she is, the girl that the guy has a crush on starts talking about, like, the history of the town and the Sanderson sisters, and how there's a museum that's dedicated to them, but it's closed down, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Long story short, they end up going there. The museum is literally the witch's house. Things are, like, under glass in there, like the Book of Spells and such. Like, it's all preserved pretty much exactly the way it was. Right down to the candle that they all know the legend of. And just for shits and giggles, the boy decides to light it. He doesn't expect anything's gonna happen. They really, truly don't think there's anything to this. They think it's urban legends. Until, oh shit, here's the three witches. Also the cat. So, the cat is going to basically be their mentor through the entire journey, but yeah, they kind of accidentally resurrected those witches who now have, until sunrise, to create that potion, again, the same one that got poured out that first night, even though they did successfully take the life force of that girl, so I'm like, plot hole here. If they already had the one, shouldn't that mean they did in fact complete this potion? Question mark? Anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter. It's a fictional movie. Who gives a shit? But anyway, they have till morning to recreate it, get the life force of another child, and drink it, and they will be immortal. If they fail, they will be turned back into dust, and that'll be that. Except we know not really, because there is a sequel to this that came out last year, so clearly not really. But anyway, yeah, it becomes a whole thing, and now they feel like they need to stop these witches from going on a child-killing rampage. They need to figure out a way to stop them. Which, good luck going up against 3 actual real-life witches. And it goes down about the way you would expect it to, except a little more intense than I was expecting for a kid's movie. Not gonna lie, I'm just like, oh, alright, I kind of respect the way that they went about it. It made it actually kind of scary instead of the pandering kind of, it's spooky but not scary way that a lot of kids' movies do when they're Halloween movies. So, I respect it. Yeah, there is a whole thing. I'm sure most of you watching this have seen it. I don't have to explain the entire plot to you guys. Long story short, the witches are eventually stopped at the end of the movie after a whole long thing, after basically all the adults in the town have been cursed to dance till they die. And the ones that weren't cursed to that are the kids that have now also been cursed to just come to the witches so they could give their life force. Yep, I am really bad at summarizing movies. I know, there is way more to this that is gone whoosh that I am not even touching on here. But again, I'm pretty sure most of us are pretty familiar with Hocus Pocus, so it's fine. But anyway, they eventually do stop them in a graveyard with the zombie of one of the family members of the cat, no less, which that has to be a really weird thing, like a really weird position to be in as the cat, knowing that's a zombie of, I forget if it's the dad or the brother, but yeah, it's weird, but anyway. They do eventually save them. The witches are stopped. They're turned into dust at the absolute last moment when it looks like the brother is going to have to sacrifice himself to save his sister so that it's not a repeat of what happened with the cat. Nobody warned me the cat dies. I'm giving the spoiler. I don't care. It made me cry like a little bitch. I didn't know that I had to run this movie through doesthedogdie.com, but apparently I should have, just so I could have had that emotional heads up. You guys know darn well, any movie that has an animal death in it is going to pretty much wreck the rest of my day emotionally, so that's a thing. Yes, I realize that ultimately for the plotline it ended up being a good thing that this cat can finally be put to rest, and the spirit of the boy can finally move on to the afterlife and be reunited with his sister and his family. I realize this is a good thing, but still the cat dying, I didn't see it coming somehow, and I cried really hard over that, like way harder than I probably should have over a friggin' kid movie, but then again, sometimes it's those kid movies that make me cry harder than anything, okay, but anyway, yeah, that's a whole thing. But I do have to say, I see why it's such a classic movie, though, and why it's so beloved, because it is really well done as a witch movie. Like, honestly, yeah, I give this one top marks. I think I'm giving it a 5 out of 5, guys. Like, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I mean, I expected I was gonna like it, but, like, honestly, I thought it was so well done. So well done on all the levels. And from what I have heard about the sequel, it does not hold a candle to the original, which is pretty true of most sequels. Not all, but most. So I'm not too surprised about that either. But at the same time, I'm like, well, now that I have finally seen this, I didn't have to wait 30 years in between movie 1 and movie 2, so I can kind of just dive right into the other one and see what the hell else happens. So I'm probably gonna do that pretty shortly, because I need to at least know where it goes. I hear there is talks of potentially a third one in the works. I don't know if it'll come to fruition. I literally just heard this about a week ago. We'll see if it even pans out to anything. It might not, but I mean, as of right now, there is talk of one. And from what I've heard about the second one, I'm like, do we really need a third one, or are we kind of good with 2? We might be good with 2. Do we really want to run this into the ground when the first one was so good? I don't know, but anyway, I really enjoyed this one anyway. I thought it was super well done. I see why so many people watch it every year around Halloween. It's probably going to become a new tradition for me now that I've finally seen it. I'm like, oh my god, actually that was really cute. Yes, so, anyway. That is that. I have finally seen the thing. So anyway, that's it for this one. So as usual, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.